What's up and welcome back. I'm John Stark from MovieGuy.com, your favorite blind film critic, and today I'm going to talk about Night Bitch. There's no way to not, I think the YouTube algorithm, drops down videos that curse in the first 30 seconds. I could just, I don't know, but it's the title, and it's going to be in it's just like my old ass, you know what I mean? I have to put curse words now in the titles of my videos. Sorry. It's the name of the movie. Sorry if I've offended you. I do also curse in my videos, so you're in for a roll. It's written and directed by Marielle Heller. It's being distributed by Fox Searchlight. It was made available for my consideration. It's made available for my consideration without audio description. It was made available for my consideration on Disney Debut, which is a platform that really needs to have some accessibility Jesus worked into it, because I actually had to have a sighted person help me so that I could actually screen the movie. I actually reached an impasse. I've done pretty good, and I was like, I can't. This app. It's funny because Disney's really strong in accessibility in so many other ways, but this is just something that has slipped under the cracks for them. So I had to find a sighted person. I hate having to do that, but that's the real world. I've talked about another review of another film that sort of reminded me of we all need a little help sometimes. It's like, yeah, sometimes I need a sighted person. I don't know if that makes the blind community feel great about, well, you should be able to, no, I could not use this app. You know what I'm saying? Screen reader not recognizing what it needed to recognize in order for me to get past it. So, wasn't giving me enough at all. And it's a shame, because I would love for them to just make the app, to put audio description on it, to send it out. And I stand by what I said in several other of these reviews. There have to be blind and low vision voters in other branches. It's just in the crafts. You're submitting this for guilds and across the board. I think it's a bold miscalculation from really the industry to assume that nobody needs accessibility in that regard. I would say I'm excited to watch this with audio description. The grade for this is going to disappoint you, but it really doesn't reflect how I think I will actually end up enjoying the movie. So this film stars Amy Adams and Scoot McNairy, really Amy Adams, and some little children, by the way. But they're really little. Nobody's going to break out from here. Her kids are really young. I think they're at that age too, where they have to use two kids to play the same role, and they have to swap. So I think I was looking on IMDb, because there seem to be a lot of little kids credited. But Amy Adams plays a sort of newish mother. The kids, again, really young. She's not a mother of teenagers. And she has given up her career. Meanwhile, her husband is not. And she is raising these kids. And she has a lot of these sort of internal thoughts about, oh my God, I can't believe I'm doing this again. Listening to those little kid songs. It's sort of I think this is the most relatable film for mothers. When I've heard that said before, and I understand it now. Because it feels like this is maybe Marielle Heller herself is a mother and can relate, and is trying to put that experience into film, and is trying to find a way to say something here. And I think she does that through Amy Adams. Amy Adams, a lot of her performance is an internal monologue. So you hear her thoughts, and it carries the performance. I thought it was clever. I thought it was funny at times. I think Amy's doing some really strong work here. The problem is this film is also, even if you go to IMDb, the #1 category it's listed as body horror. So she transforms into a wolf. All of that was lost for me. It's one of the reasons why The Substance I went ahead and rented it, was because I was like, what is the point? It was made available for my consideration without audio description, but it was also available to rent at that time. Not to buy, but to rent. So Night Bitch is actually just dropping in theaters, so it would take a long time before that. I got to see this before it was even released. So it's I'm sure it'll play with audio description, and I'm sure for people who see it. But the way that I was delivered it, I couldn't pick up on that whole aspect of the film, which is like part of the reason why there's the title of the film. And I mean, I could tell sort of what's happening in some of the sequences, but at the same time, that is the part of the film where you need the audio description to come in and work for blind people. So I really can't grade this for anything other than unwatchable, because while I would say that I have a feeling my grade is going to lean positive, there's such a wide range here, because I love Amy Adams and I love what she was doing here. And I think the audio description could support it in a way that this movie could go all the way up to an A. This movie could end up in my top 10. You know, The Substance really surprised me as a film. So if the audio description comes in clutch and it turns out Marielle has directed a film that I really enjoy, then absolutely I'd love to send that right up the top. But I don't understand the chunk of this movie that makes this movie unique. But I think I will, but I could also be wrong. Like that part of the film might not work, and which is why I can't predict the grade. I cannot say for sure where I would go. It would take a lot for me to go negative. Like the film would, I don't know, because for me to go like all the way down to like a C-, D+, D, F, that kind of thing, I just don't think so. I would say I generally recommend this, but as far as like heavily or like how quickly you should go out and see this, you must see this movie. Like I can't do any of that right now because I don't know where this movie's gonna land. On a second viewing, when I watch it eventually again with audio description, because it will either land with, you know, and could land up with an A, could land with a C+, could be B+. I have no idea, but I think the writing was strong from what I could tell from Marielle. I loved Amy Adams, like everything, like her line delivery from everything that I got, the internal monologue and everything that was spoken was great. There were things, little sort of slices of life that Marielle was throwing in there that Amy just knocked out of the park. So Scoot doesn't really do anything here. I would love to be able to say Scoot McNairy for an Oscar at some point, because he's one of those character actors that's been kind of like around for a while. And he's been pretty consistently good, but this is very much Amy Adams' film. It's not meant to support the dad in anything. If anything, it's the movie's angry at the dad, you know, for not being supportive enough and for not taking a second to realize that, you know, she's given up her whole career to just stay at home and take care of this kid, and he gets to go off every day and leave the house, and she has to sit around and listen to, I don't even know what toddlers listen to these days, but Baby Shark, I have no idea, but you know, she's stuck doing that, which is what I think causes her to find this maybe animalistic side of herself. But anyway, that's just sort of a cursory look at Night Bitch. It's being considered for Academy Awards. Most people think it's just down to Amy Adams. I kind of wonder about the transformation process. Maybe it could just be a play in hair and makeup, you know. Maybe. I think at bare minimum, I wouldn't be surprised if it got shortlisted, even though I have no conception of the thing. The fact that people are watching it for Oscar consideration would put it in front. I mean, they put Last Voyage of the Demeter in last year. If they're watching it, I mean, I don't know why they wouldn't, you know. But I don't know that this plays as broadly as Fox Searchlight's other titles, Real Pain and Complete Unknown. So, but I would put this in front of every female voter that has a child. It'd be like, do you understand what I'm trying to say? Just and see if it works. I mean, The Substance is very much speaking to a certain demographic. I don't know why this couldn't. So, and if the demographic loves it enough, I would not be surprised to see Amy Adams show up. So, is it her best performance? Unfortunately for me, my favorite Amy Adams performance was not nominated for an Oscar for Arrival. She's been nominated like 6 times. So it's not one of those things where it's like, I feel like we just need to keep it nominated. She's not going to win. This film's not going to suddenly shoot to the top of the chart. It just doesn't have that kind of vibe. If anything, she'd be the film's only nomination. So just be adding another loss. She's been Glenn Closing her way through life. So I don't need that for Amy because she's already, but then again, she's also been snubbed for performances. So I can go either way on this. Like, I'm not super stoked to see this in the actress race, but at the same time, I wouldn't be mad. And that's just my immediate reaction to Night Bitch. Can't wait to see with audio description at some point. Anyway, I can't grade it. It's unwatchable for a blind person. It just is. I mean, you get some of it, but you don't get the whole purpose of this film. So thank you for watching. Thanks for subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the other side.